Alright, it's time to finally do this. Today I'll be showing you what is left of Object Country, including episode 14, or my plan for the show, and some other things you'll see later on. So, here's episode 14. Let's just get straight into it, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a total of 197 slides here. Yeah, 197 slides, and yeah, you can see it's called episode 14 of Object Country. This is the real thing, and yeah, I'm just gonna show it. Now, you might be wondering, why am I showing it this way instead of just showing all the scenes in order, much like what I did with State of Objects? And that is because, if you didn't watch my return video thing, well, I don't actually have the audio for almost all the scenes in this episode. This is because, back in 2021, when I was really tired of didn't want to be in the OC and not even be reminded of it, I decided, since my hard drive had just so much object show stuff, I decided to delete all of it. That included about 99% of my Screenomatic files, which I think also included my Object Country episode 14 scenes. Now at the time I was like, who cares? I'm never going to look back at this again. I don't want to remember the OC anymore, nor my content. I was really wrong, by the way, as you can tell. And so, yeah, I just deleted the Object Country scenes without even thinking and all that. And sadly, I can't just go to my recycling bin, as when I deleted those files, they were on a previous computer of mine. I'm using a new one now. And that previous computer is probably dead, because it's like a decade old. So, yeah, the audio is gone. However, good news, I do have audio for 2 scenes. Both of them I've posted publicly, but I have unlisted the videos because, like I've said before, I want the channel to look cleaner. So, yeah, and the first scene with audio is this first scene. Where Waterkin is sleeping, and then she, basically just has a dream about taking the game, eliminate. Oh yeah, fun fact, you see this microwave character. This microwave character is actually where I got the idea to put microwave in the object choice. So there is that, as this was all made before object choice. So, yeah. Now, I'm gonna play the actual clip right now. So yeah, here is the audio.
So now we're at bottom 2, Antigone and Microwave. Who will be eliminated? TV show to vote. Antigone has been eliminated with 291 votes. What? Why am I eliminated? Why am I so hated by the viewers suddenly? So, who got eliminated? It was Chickadee. What? Yeah, it was pretty bland and not a big surprise. No! No! Jesus, what a wuss. Shh! It was all a dream? Who's the microwave guy? It was just a dream. Shouldn't take it seriously. But the dream was right. What if Tickety is eliminated? Well, I guess time will only find out. Let's just go back to sleep, Watercan. Huh? Oh, it's morning. Wait, is Tickety still here? I wonder. I hope. Oh, yeah, Tickety's still here. Might as well tell him my dream.
So yeah, that's the scene. As you can notice, it looks a bit darker than how it looks here. Crud, I think I just spoiled all the other things I'm going to show. Oh well. Anyway, wait. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I just needed to, zoom the camera out. You might be wondering why, sometimes the my screen recording is a bit zoomed in and other times it's not. That's because, the name of my PowerPoint account, I kind of don't want to leak. So, I'm trying to, I zoomed it all in. So that's why you can't see my Windows bar most of the time. Anyway, so, yeah. That's the scene. Looking back at it, it was kind of dramatic. Also, I've realized how 291 plus 241 equal 532, not 531. Yes, I care about those things. Anyway, So, to the next scene. This is miserable. Anyway, here's the next scene. Here's stuff you've never seen before. So Tickety is just walking around, la la la, and stuff. And then she's like, "Hey, Tickety!" And then Tickety says, "Oh, hey, water can. Now, not to be rude, but why are you here?" Also, I'm gonna try to say what the characters are saying from here on out for all these scenes, because I can't even really remember some of these lines. But I'm gonna try my best. So anyway, yes, what is Watercan? Why is Watercan so excited? And then she's like, "Oh, I had a dream where you were eliminated and stuff." And she was just feeling really bad and sad about it. And then Tickety's like, "Oh, I see your pain," or just something. And then Mr. Mice Guy. I think all this guy is here for is to throw in some stupid meta jokes about how, oh lol, all these characters are bland and stuff. I think all he's saying here is that I actually don't even know. I think either here Mr. Mice Guy is saying how Tickety's bland and therefore he's hated, or he's saying how Tickety hasn't even been in the bottom 2 yet. He shouldn't be worrying, which, I mean, either way, it is kind of true. So, yeah, he says some stuff, and then Tickety just tells him to go away. He then just goes away. So, yeah, and then we get to the next scene, which is the only other scene in this entire episode with audio. Good God, these legs aren't even connected at all. You know, I had a major... looking back at, like, my old content as of late, I've realized how horrible of a job I did at connecting the limbs to the characters. Like, now, that's, like, always something I make sure to pay attention to, but back then, God, I was bad at it. Why is this just white? Why did I not bother? No, I'm fixing that. No, I'm fixing that. Oh, wait, it's in all the scenes. No, this looks actually awful. Oh my God, I can't. That looks terrible. Anyway, I'm just gonna play the audio right now.
It is elimination time. Let's go. So, are we gonna get teleported to the elimination area, or what? Don't you remember? We're 4 out of the way from the elimination area. If we go there right now, we'll basically, have to take another bus that has at least $200. Or can we just go there and... No! Look, the show can only be done here in the mountains, so yeah. So just stop being so judgy. Okay. Jeez. Anyway, let's go. Shh. Man, I wonder what the new elimination area will look like. Probably something like Total Drama Island. Oh, it is. Who would have thunk it?
So yeah, that's the scene. And the only difference is that it's both really dark, as you can see, like it's like nighttime, which again is due to me using Movie Maker back then, and so it kind of really screwed up like the lighting for some of this. Anyway, I was also just bad at recording back then, hence it's like cropped for some reason on the top and bottom. Anywho, the other difference is you see there's snow in the background, which I'll get into later. But yeah, that's the scene. Not much to talk about, although this part where I was like doing grass noises just gave me such a laugh. Like, listen to this. Back to the actual episode. So, Dora's saying, welcome to the elimination area. You 5, and then last time, you 5 got the lowest scores, which, yeah, we already know that. Then the votes. Here we go. The interesting stuff, guys. We got 106 votes. 52 likes. 54 dislikes. Which is 2 less than last time. Oh, no. Anyway, DB says, oh, boy, I wonder who's going to be eliminated. Because, lol, mean characters. Am I right, guys? I think it's kind of obvious who's going to be eliminated. But we'll get into that in a second. Also, this leg is way smaller than this leg. Good God. Anyway... let's show the likes. The likes are shown. Here are the likes, guys. Pillow got more than Carty. So, objectively, Pillow is more well-liked than Carty. And surprisingly, Penny got more likes than DB. And yeah, Penny starts laughing. DB's like, are you kidding me? Ugh. Ugh, I hate this. Ugh. And then Pillow over here is like, oh my God. Yay, I got the most likes, even though you can barely see her. I don't even know why. I mean, I guess I would do that nowadays as well, but like I would put her actually in frame rather than just like have her be barely in frame. Anyway, and then Cardi is like, well, I mean, I guess even doing nothing could still give me likes or whatever. And then Tickety's like, oh no. Anyway, so DB says something else. I don't remember the line. So then Dora's like, alright, so since Pillow got the most likes, she gets 52 likes. You know, I really don't like how the prize for the person who gets the most likes is 52. Like, why 52? I think what happened is that in episode 11 or 12, I gave the person with most likes 52 likes, but I meant to give them 50. And so ever since, I was just like, yeah, it's 52, even though it should be 50. Anyway, so yeah, and then... Wow, that looks bad. That looks awful. Oh my god, they just disappear. Okay, anyway, so yeah, everyone gets more likes based on how many likes they got there. Why did DB get less? Okay, so this is how many points everyone had before getting points for every like they got. So, like, again, this is how many likes everyone got. So, this means DB should get 4 more points because he got 4 likes. You see, he went 4 points lower, but he should... Okay. Okay, you guys probably don't care about this. Anyway, elimination time. Get excited. So, it's kind of quick, actually. Relatively. Tiggity gets 1 dislike. Yeah. It kind of makes Watercat and Tickety panicking about them being eliminated really stupid, as Tickety got the least amount of likes here. I mean, least amount of dislikes, so that's cool. And then Carty has 2, Pillow has 4, which is actually the most she's ever gotten. Yeah, these are the first ever dislikes she ever got. So there's that, and then Pillow's like, whoa, why did I get so many dislikes? Even though she is gonna have way less than DB and Penny had. Also, hold up. My cat wants out of my room. Alright. Moving on to Object Country, guys. Let's go on. So, we get to the bottom 2, which, no surprise, is DB and Penny. One main character, and the other character, ruined the challenge last episode. Quote unquote. So, like every other main character when they're in the bottom 2, like Pencil, Racer Mini, Racer, PCB, and every other, Penny here is like, what? Why am I in the bottom 2? I did nothing. It's his fault that the entire area was destroyed. Because, you know, he's mean now because of little anger bead. Stupid. Okay, so yeah. And then I have this really dramatic, like, suspenseful, like, thing that you also kind of see in episode 10 of Object Country with Pencil and Pascal, where it's like, yeah, they do this. It's like, yeah, there's like some suspense stuff here. And then, come on, yeah, this is really drawn out. And then the dislikes are shown, and I tricked the viewers into thinking, uh-oh, TV got the most dislikes. But, oops, I mean, Penny. Yeah, so like I hinted earlier, no shockers here. Penny gets eliminated at 36 dislikes, like every other eliminated contestant. Also, I'm just not realizing, why did I make the gradient for this, like, so weird? Why is it red down here and white up here? It doesn't match with the thick outline. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, and then flash animation there. I don't know why I did that. And then DB's like, oh my god, I'm safe. Yay. Any last words, Penny? And here, Penny says... hey, here he doesn't say anything. He's just shocked. And then he's like, this? Okay, he's like, this is bull. And he's about to say, the S word. Oh, no. And then, Dora hits him with the rock and teleports him. First, before that, DB's like, oh, why did you hit him? And then Dora's like, oh, because he was about to say a bad word. We need to keep the show PG friendly, because he was saying bull and about to say the S word. And then, Dora's like, okay, so it's Penny, you got the most dislikes at 36, which is, I think, the most a contestant has ever received. So yeah, and then he's just teleported, because I guess the logic of the show is that contestants can teleport to the elimination place, yet they can't teleport to the elimination area. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's kind of inconsistent. Anyway, then DB's like, wow, okay, that was a scene. And then it fades to black. We get into the next scene, which, I actually showed to a friend on Skype. That's all I remember. I don't have that Skype account, though. And then, TV's like, God, that mouth looks bad. And then TV's like, sir, what are we doing? And then, why is it white over here? Then Dora's like, oh, well, you see, the next challenge will be happening, because of a storm that's coming soon. Wait, what do you mean a storm? Well, I mean, wait, no, he says like, wait, a storm? Yep. And then I have that weird mouth animation. And then TV's like, well, I'm an electronic. If the storm comes, I will die. Oh. And then Dora's like, you can just go to the bus over there. No, wait, no, you can just go to the tent over there. The very low quality tent. And then TV's like, oh, alright, thanks. You know, I think the bus would be better because, you know, like, I would think the tent would, like, be far less protected. Anyway, so Dora's like, anyway, it's time for the next challenge. And then the next challenge is to build a snowman. Yes, the next challenge is to build a snowman. Very basic. Cardi here is like, how is it gonna snow though? And then I throw in, because by this point, when I made this episode, I was like very new into like elevations and like mountains and stuff. This was like shortly after I moved to an area that I still live at right now, where there's like way more mountains are like way higher, and I like live near snow now. Nowadays I'm used to it, but back then it was like a new concept, so I decided to throw in some weird random statistics where it's like, oh, well, it's gonna be snowing where we are right now, the contestants, since it's 2,000 elevation high. And then, God, I'm a nerd. Even though, canonically, Object Country is connected to Alaska. If you look at, a little picture at the news report part of episode 11, and also, like, the entire concept of episode 1's challenge, you notice how the purple thing that's, like, right next, that, like, is to the right of the Object Country land is Alaska. But I don't think I realized back then that, Alaska is very cold, so it should be snowing everywhere in the Object Country area because, you know, it's really high up. But I guess not, so I guess I'll shut up. Anyway, so yeah, it snows here. It's gonna be snowing soon, thanks to this hurricane that looks really bad, and I totally didn't make this in Microsoft Paint, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, then Carty's like, well, that's stupid. And then Dora's like, oh, shut up, idiot. And then Carty's like, okay, jeez. You know, I'm just starting to now realize Dora has a lot of outbursts in this show. A weird amount. Also, why does that eyebrow looks like weirdly pixelated? Anyways, okay, I mean, honestly, this part right here doesn't look that bad. But yeah, Dora here says anyways. And then, he says that the contestants have 2 hours to build a snowman, and he'll rate them out as a 3 out of 10. I think there's also supposed to be a guest judge as well. I don't know who it was going to be, though. I completely forgot. I don't think it was supposed to be eliminate contestant, but I also don't think it's supposed to be one of the recommended characters. And then 10 points per score point, which means like a 3 out of 10 is like 30 points for the contestant who built the snowman, basically. And then the bottom 5 with the lowest score will be up for elimination. And Minnie and Mustache are currently in the danger zone. Dude, imagine Mustache was up for elimination. That'd be crazy. Because he's always like super OP and stuff. And then Dora's like, start. And then the snowstorm he just mentioned is just suddenly here. Also, this is bad. Even I knew it. Hence, I added this. And then Wildcan's like, well, I guess I might as well start building my snowman. What? Do you think I'm going to say anything else? Because guess what? That's it. That's the episode. No joke. That it just ends right there. It ends really abruptly. Yeah, so the challenge starts and the episode's just done. Let's just do an little overview of this episode. So overall, as you can probably tell, this episode was never supposed to be anything. But like episode 12 after episode 11, despite the time between episode 12 and episode 11, episode 12 wasn't really anything revolutionary. Same for this episode. This episode was supposed to be nothing special other than showing how Watercan is like incredibly dependent on Tickety for some reason. I guess it makes sense because, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this was fairly basic, all things considered, other than, I guess, a new elimination area. This challenge is also kind of bland as well. And yeah, that's episode 14. Overall, I personally just think it's fine. I don't think it would have been anything great, though. I still think episode 11 is probably, like, the only episode where I can confidently say I tried. Even episode 12 and 13, while they're better than, like, most of the other episodes, I still think I rushed it, and I didn't really put in, like, the quality assurance it needed. And same thing for this episode. This episode was going to be just another 5 out of 10 thing. Now, the reason why I canceled it here, one of the reasons I think is because I just, like, this background just looked terrible. I was thinking, there's no way I can continue it when it looks like this. I was stupid back then, okay? But the main reason, hold up, my cat wants back in. Come in, idiot. Anyway, so the reason why I canceled the episode here is because this was basically the episode when I realized that Object Country isn't good. I wasn't proud of this show anymore. If you saw the video where I uploaded this sneak peek right here, you'd see how I made a pinned comment on this video when I uploaded it, and I was like, God, this is so right. I'm sorry for this torment. I think it was just a perfect example. Like, even while I was making this episode, I knew that this episode sucked. And so it was canceled. And then I just abandoned it. And then I made Object Choice. So, yeah. That's kind of the conclusion episode 14 had. And that's the entirety of the episode. I'm sorry if this isn't, like, as well organized or, like, well put together. Or, like, this is all disappointing presentation-wise and also episode-wise. But, yeah, this is my only way of showing the episode. And this is what I made. Production, I think, started in, like, early January. Like, half of this episode was, like, made in, like, early January. And then the other half was, like, mid-February, which is also when I uploaded that second sneak peek. Yeah, so that's episode 14. However, we aren't done. There's a few more things I want to go over. So first off, the other plans I had. So the reason why, so for one, I had a whole idea where I wanted to give Watercan quote-unquote development, where Tiggity gets eliminated on the show eventually, and Watercan starts to not want to compete in the show anymore. And I hint that in this exact scene right here where she's like running away and stuff. She was actually, and I planned for her to actually do this when the day came when Tiggity would get eliminated. Now, I think I thought back then that Tiggity was gonna get eliminated like within the next episode or two. Even though looking back, no. I think Tiggity, if anything, had a chance of being in the final two with Watercan. And if that happened, that makes this entire beginning scene look just stupid. So yeah, that was one of the things I had planned for, like, the future of the show. Watercan, like, getting depressed because Tiggity is eliminated. Uh-oh. So sad, I know. And then there's also a plot I had where a villain was gonna show up in, like, the finale in a really unoriginal way. As if we go back to episode 13 here, we go to the challenge. There is this little snippet I added of this guy right here. You see this? This is supposed to be a villain. And I think this guy right here is supposed to be Door's brother. And he was going to show up in the finale of the show and do evil villain stuff. It was really unoriginal. But yeah, that was that. And then also, I think in the finale, I planned for Door, like, after he sold Hawaii to, like, the winner contestant, he then was going to be on a plane to, like, form a new life, and then the plane crashes, and Door dies in the plane crash. So yeah, I think in the finale, I planned for Door to die. I didn't write, I'm not certain, this might have just been, like, a fever dream idea I had, but I think that was my plan for the finale. That this guy here in episode 13 was gonna be Door's brother, the villain, and Door was gonna die after the winner was decided and he gave Hawaii away. So yeah, there really wasn't much, honestly. Like, throughout the entirety of Object Country, I almost never thought ahead about, like, what I'm gonna do for this next episode, I just, my mindset back then was just very different. If I made this show nowadays, I would plan so much more ahead. So next thing I want to show is the elimination order that I think the show would have gone. So here's the 20 contestants. Episode 2, Eraser gets eliminated, as you know. Episode 3, PCB. Episode 4, Eraser Mini. Episode 5, Murder Phase, Card 2 rejoin. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, rejoin. 10, 11, 12, 13. And, of course, as you may know, episode 14, Penny gets eliminated. Now, from here on out, here are my predictions of how the rest of the show went. So, episode 15 would have a rejoin, DB will get eliminated by all the eliminated contestants, and Pencil will rejoin. Because I think, I'm not certain about this, but I think episode 14 was also supposed to have a rejoin vote at the end of the episode. The first of its kind since episode 7. It honestly makes me wish even more that I did complete episode 14, because that'd be interesting to just see all the eliminated contestants for the first time in one episode actually say something. If it wasn't going to be episode 14, which had the rejoin vote, it's going to be episode 15. But I'm going to say episode 14. So yeah, and since episode 12 and 13, I made it apparent that Pencil was no longer made. I feel like there's like a 99% chance that Pencil was going to win the rejoin vote. Let's just face it, guys. So yeah, she wins the rejoin vote. I think it would make most sense if Passcard and Racer Minnie got eliminated episode 16. Next episode where a double elimination happened because of, a rejoin just happened. Anyway, then episode 17, Karthik gets eliminated. Then episode 18, Pillow. Then episode 19, Pencil gets eliminated. And then Tickety loses the second last challenge of the entire show at the end of episode 19. Then Mustache comes in second. And I feel like this was always obvious, but yeah. Let's just face it, everyone. Watercan was going to win the show. If it wasn't good, I think Mustache probably would have just barely been beaten out by Watercan. Like, let's face it. Like, every elimination Watercan's ever been in, she's gotten the most likes and no dislikes. That said, in BF2 Peacock, she didn't get the most likes and got some dislikes. But like back at Object Country, she got always by far the most amount of likes. Never got a single dislike. I think the only character to never got a dislike the entire show. She also was like almost, if not always, at the top of the points. She was just like the most overpowered character possible. And I feel like if I continued this show and I didn't cancel Object Country by episode 14, I think she would have won. Now, my guess as to when Object Country would have ended if I didn't cancel by episode 14, I actually haven't thought about till now. So, here is my guess. So, if I didn't cancel the show by episode 14, I think episode 14 would have probably came out in, I say, February to March of 2018. So, here is when I think every episode would have came out if I consistently made the show and I didn't cancel it. I think the show would have ended late 2018, early 2019. As I still don't want to say I'm like perfect, but I've gotten much better. But yeah, by 2018, 2019, I still wasn't really great at making videos. I didn't know how to like download videos from like just simple websites that you can just easily search up. I was still using Movie Maker for frick's sake. Nowadays I use DaVinci Resolve, which is far better. But yeah, so this is how I think when each episode would have came out. Anyway, so here's the final part. Now, I made this only a month ago, in fact, and this was my attempt of making all of my previous shows, Battle for Pencil, Object Country, Object Choice, BFTO Peacock, and Adventure TSO, all connected into one timeline. I was basically doing a Zachary where I was like making all these shows like interconnected. Although, unlike Zachary, I never planned to have all these shows this interconnected. Also, these shows are way older, and I was making them at a way younger age. But anyway, so also the reason why there's so many of my names is because I threw around my real name here a lot, and I kind of just don't want that to be as well my real name to be as well known. Even though most of my fans probably already know it, but whatever. Anyway, so here it is in the most basic way I can possibly explain it. So basically, August 2014, BP1 comes out as Glasses hired by me to get contested for a show. Then episode 4 comes and Glasses runs out of budget, so the show goes on a hiatus. And an alternate timeline is Battle for the Million, which was supposed to reboot Battle for Pencil, but it got canceled. And basically, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Glasses ran out of a budget again, and then BFTM was canceled. And this is an alternate timeline where Glasses was just like, it was over for Glasses. However, in the actual canon timeline, as BFTM isn't canceled. So basically, like, whenever, like, it does, and same thing for down here, this is also not canon, but I'll get into that in a second. So yeah, anyway, episode 5 comes around. It gets made. Episode 7 doesn't get released until months later due to quote-unquote budget, and episode 9 comes by, and then the show gets kind of canceled. Then I made episode 10 and 11, but they're both just text, And so I decided to not make them canon because they're just so much more visually worse. They're not even on paper, even though the thumbnail makes it look like they are. Both episodes are literally just text. It looks terrible. Here's a picture of it. Would you watch this with your son? You probably wouldn't. So yeah, in the canon timeline, episode 10, episode 11 don't happen. It gets canceled after BFP 9. And so, the contestants are moved to Object Country, except for E Junior 1 and 2, where they replace themselves with the Racer Mini, who replaces them in Battle for Pencil. Hence, why Racer Mini is so similar in design as them. Anyway, then Object Country comes by, episode 1 comes out, episode 3 comes out, better looking graphics as is now on PowerPoint, and then the show starts blowing up episode 8 and stuff. Episode 10, I try to rectify the reason why I made the entire episode just singing by saying it was all me. Wahaha, I'm so evil and stuff. And then episode 11 comes by, the Anger Bee is revealed, and that's why all the contestants are like really rude and stuff. Episode 12 and 13 come by after I took a long hiatus. Then, due to an incident that I guess I'll just get into. Basically, I wanted to make a canon in this timeline that when the challenge about, like, the hurricane and snow happened in episode 14, like, remember? Like, there was a whole hurricane thing here. I just showed episode 14. Basically, in this canon timeline, this hurricane actually destroyed the entire area. And it put all the contestants at, like, risk and stuff. Because this hurricane in this canon timeline was far more severe than it was shown here. And everyone was at risk. And so, Dor got a lawsuit and got sued, and the show was canceled. Then he moved to Northern California where he met Console. They tried to make Object Choice, but it failed. Then Dor and Glasses met up with Dor and Console, took a vacation, and then showed off their teleporting. Honestly, you can just read all this. I don't feel like explaining all this. But yeah, in the end, BFDO Peacock happens. And then this is basically what happened with Highlighter and Glue. And yes, Glue was actually also a robot like Highlighter. BFTO Peacock. And then there's this epic like finale and stuff. Also, the reason why this says 2019 2020 is because this is actually when BFTO Peacock canonically takes place in November 2018 instead of November 2022. This is when it takes place canonically in this timeline. Just to let you know. And yeah, basically this stuff is just like why it actually happened. Like basically like the honest timeline. This is the honest timeline version. This is the canon timeline. And yeah, I had this all planned, but then I realized I don't really want to associate with Object Country anymore, and so yeah, this is all scrapped. Okay, so originally the video was gonna end back there, but I actually forgot this entire other section I wanted to include, which is the lost episodes of Object Country. I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this in the video without it looking like an afterthought, which it is. But this would be recorded like an hour later. Anyway, so I finally want to get into the lost episodes of Object Country, and weirdly, there's like 3 of them. First one is this one, which I have uploaded to the channel. However, I have unlisted it because again, the channel is a mess, and I kind of just wanted to clean it up. This is the paper version of Object Country Episode 3. Now, this was made shortly after Episode 2, and, like, but it was also made before I had a laptop and was able to make the show on PowerPoint. And, weirdly enough, there is quite a lot of differences. Like, for one, the challenge is basically the challenge that I did for Episode 7 of Battle for Pencil, which is also the challenge that I ripped from the Unfinished Object Insanity Episode 5. If anyone remembers that, then you're a real one. Just saying. Anyway, so yeah. Also, this is a scene where like Pill has a new body and Glue says, "Oh my God, are you terminated?" And this scene was actually used in Episode 9, months after this. So that's interesting. And then the elimination is actually the Episode 2 elimination, except it now has the Team Walking Waters and stuff. So yeah, I'll put the link to this in the description. Next is this. You might be wondering, what the heck is this? Well, this is my very rough draft, the original of the second PowerPoint version of Episode 3 of Object Country. Yes, I had a total of 3 different versions of Object Country Episode 3. The paper version you just saw, the official version, and this one. Now, this third version of Episode 3, how so ironic, I know. When I was in the middle of making the official version of Episode 3, I think like mid-June, I was like losing motivation, so I decided to like remake Episode 3, but a bit more refined. So I made like a minute and a half, and then I stopped. And this is like, I think, a rough idea as to what it looked like. The background was plain, and yeah, this looks really bad for intentionally, I swear. And so basically, and also because I want something to show here. And so yeah, I don't have the file to this other version of Object Country Episode 3, sadly. And yeah, so it's lost media that I can only recover by memory, sadly. Yeah, and what happened is just, you know, I gave up on this version of Object Country Episode 3. And then I decided to continue the official version of Episode 3, which by this point I was like 70% done with anyway. So I was just like, why am I trying to remake Episode 3 again when I could just continue this other version where I'm like over halfway done? So yeah, I just went back to make Episode 3. I don't know if I'm even explaining this well. I'm probably not. Anyway, final lost episode of Object Country. This one is probably the saddest. So this one goes all the way back to here. This one is Object Country Episode 11 Old. So if you've been on this channel for long enough, you would know between Episode 10 and Episode 11, I got a new laptop. But unfortunately, I was not able to transfer any of my PowerPoint files to the new laptop for some reason. I don't know. But I tried transferring Episode 11 of Object Country to the new laptop, but unfortunately, it wasn't allowing me to. Because guess what? Even though it might seem like I have the original Object Country Episode 11 here, guess what happens? It gives me this prompt. And so I can try to click prepare, does nothing. This version of Episode 11 is gone. Lost media, even though it seemingly is right in front of my face right here. And what hurts the most is that this version of Episode 11, I was almost done with. Like, if you saw that one video where I was, like, celebrating me hitting 143 subs, which is really specific, but I showed the thumbnail for Episode 11, and based off of that, you can see that, yeah, the challenge is basically supposed to be a maze. It was pretty much just all going to be a ripoff of Episode 10 of II2. And I got, like, really far in. I think, like, a good 60 minutes of the episode was done. And the only thing I remember is that I stopped working on it, when, I think what happened was that Door got injured. And so firefighters were, like, going down a pole and, like, taking a helicopter to save Door. Because I think there was, like, a fire at the maze or something. And so, yeah, there was, like, a helicopter scene and stuff. It was kind of wild, but that was also when I stopped working on the episode and I lost my motivation. Yeah, it's like, that's the only thing I remember from this episode. There's so much stuff in this episode I wish I could see, but I can't because clearly something went wrong. The file is completely corrupted, and I have tried to figure it out for hours on end how to fix the file, but I can't. So, as is, this old version of Episode 11 is dead. I worked on it from, like, when I released Episode 10 of Object Country to about, as you can see, mid to near Christmas 2016. This represents when I last worked on the episode. 6 years ago. And so, yeah, that is that. And yeah, that's basically it. That's everything I need to show, I think. Sorry if I haven't really explained things the best in this video. This video is unscripted, and I'm also not the greatest at explaining things on the fly. I also am really bad at talking here, as you can tell, because I'm talking really fast, as I just don't want to be boring, I guess. But if you have any questions about anything in this video, ask in the comments. I'll answer, okay? And so, yeah. Also, maybe try to count how many times I've said, And that's that. That's everything Object Country that you guys haven't seen yet. And everything I had planned and many other things that you've seen. I'm gonna get to editing this video. This video is probably gonna be way longer than I want it to be. Also, within a few days, I'm gonna have to upload an even longer video. That's gonna be like almost 3 hours. You might be wondering, why is it gonna be so long, console? Why are you about to upload a near 3 hour video? Well, once I upload it, you'll see why. And the only hint I'll give is that my next video after this is gonna be a follow-up to this video. Try your best to figure out what I mean by that. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and see you later, I guess. Subscribe, or I don't know. Okay, bye.